Hi, my name is Samantha and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be making a stadium bag with some clear vinyl. Let's get into it. So if you've been to a stadium recently, you know that you're only allowed to bring in a clear bag. And different stadiums have different dimensions that they allow. The stadium that I'll be going to has these dimensions, so I want to utilize that to the best of my abilities. So I am going to measure out only a ½ inch smaller than what's listed here so that I know I'm within the parameters. I worry about doing it to the exact dimensions that they have just in case there's somebody stingy at the gates and I don't want to be held up. So we're going to follow all the rules listed right here and we are going to make a stadium bag. I have two different weights of vinyl here. I have a 8 gauge and a 20 gauge. So the 20 gauge is much thicker and the 8 gauge is a lot thinner. So I think that we are going to use both of these for different parts. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. The first thing I need to do is open up these remnants. I've had these for a hot minute. These are marked 2021 and so I've been wanting to use these for a while. I can't iron them flat, but what I can do is I can put them like underneath a towel and then iron so that then they can become flatter. So this is going to be a multi-day project. The first step is to be able to get these nice and flat. Here is the fabric rolled out. I really thought it would be a lot worse, seeing how it's been rolled up since, what does this say? 2021. So I've had this for a hot minute. This was $4. I'm going to use this bias tape, which was $1. I could make my own bias tape, but this is already perfect, so why wouldn't I just use this? And then I've had this roll of strap forever. So I would say this is like a $6 bag, but I need to go ahead and iron this. I have to put something down on top of it. I don't know if I need a whole towel or if I just need something thin, but I need to flatten this out and then cut it up. And when I cut it up, let's see here. I went ahead and printed out all of the rules for Washington Stadium. Where is it? It's like 12 by 12. Oh, right here. Bags that are clear and plastic cannot exceed 16 by 16 by 8. So I'm going to cut 15 by 15 by 7. So I'm an inch smaller than what's required. That's my goal. And then hopefully I don't get flagged and this doesn't get thrown away. So fingers crossed. All right, I think this is as good as I'm going to get it. I think it looks pretty good. There are still some creases. It took me about like 10 times ironing it. What I did is I had the iron on a medium setting, no steam. I had this scrap piece of fabric. I ironed it, moved it, ironed it, moved it, and did that about 10 times. And then the last time, what I did is I used this ruler. So I ironed this section and then I like pushed with the ruler to make it stay flat. Then did the next section, the next section. So like this is taking a hot minute. But let's see here. So I can do 16 by 16 by 8. So we're going to do 15 by 15 by 7. So when I measured this out, that's the one side, another side. Where's my clips? Give me 1 second. Okay, so that is the first two panels. So those are the two big sides. Then we need the bottom piece. So that's going to be 7 inches. So 15 by 7. So this is the bottom piece. I'm going to mark it. Then we need 2 sides. So another 7 inches. And then the other side, another 7 inches. So this is just enough fabric. And just to make sure I'm right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm ready to cut. I'm gonna use this to cut, and then I'm just gonna put all the edges together with the bias tape. So I'm gonna do the like this, the side, bottom, and then I'm gonna put the 2 sides on. That's the assembly process I'm gonna use. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm about to start sewing and I actually have changed my mind. So here is how it's going to look. And this was a little bit extra. So what I'm going to do with this piece is I'm going to cut it in 4. So there's going to be these little squares and I'm going to use these to reinforce when I put the handles. So when I go to sew the handles down, these are going to go as another layer of protection. And I went ahead and like did a pass by of the bias tape to see if I had enough. I have just enough. but I think it'll look cleaner if I do like you, and then the two sides. I think that'll look cleaner than if I do like this piece to that piece to that piece. Like, I think if each piece is not its own piece of binding, it'll look nicer. That's just my thoughts. So let me go ahead and get these two U shapes sewn on, and I don't know if I'll do another clip or if I'm going to just show you the final product. I don't know if I have pink thread like this. I'm gonna have to take a look, but I'm just gonna use a regular foot. It should be fine because I'm sewing on this. I'm not sewing on the vinyl directly, but I'm not doing anything fancy. Just gonna do this, and then I'll fold in the top of it. This project has been an absolute pain in the butt, but I think it is turning out really good. So what I did is I have one piece in a U shape, and I already sewed this down. I don't know how to really do the edges, so I stopped about 1 inch out on both sides, and I used a 4.0 stitch length. And then I'm gonna do this side a U, and then the extra pieces, my thought is to like pull this to the side, right, and just sew the bottom straight across, and then encapsulate it in this piece so that like this unfinished edge is inside the finished edge. That's my thought. I don't think the corners are going to turn out that great, but it's not like I'm putting little pieces in here. I had just enough bias tape. I'm going to end up cutting a little bit extra off of these guys because they were like 8.5 inches and I only needed 7. But I think it is turning out so good. I love what I did with the top here. Like, see this finished edge? So what I did is I took the bias and I folded it inside the bag, and then folded the bag. It's hard to do one-handed, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I folded it in and then in. I think it's turning out really well. I cannot wait to use this. I can't believe I had just enough material. I'm working on the straps, and I have no idea if this is smart or dumb, but what I did is I cut them all the same size, all of these extra pieces, and I cut 2 holes so that then I could slide the strap in. So when I sew this down to the interior of the bag, the raw part of the strap is not touching. And I think if I sew the vinyl to the vinyl and sew down the strap, it'll be like double secure. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is how I'm going to attach the handles. I don't know. I don't know if this is stupid or if this is smart. And then how I got the measurement is I used the tape measure, and I put my like elbow against this part right here, and I put the tape measure here to the top of my hand, back down, and I got 28 inches. So then I added 1 inch on each side, and then I tested this out in the mirror. So I'm gonna try this. This is what I'm gonna do. I am a little worried about the structural integrity of this bag, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 or 2 like grocery bags, like the throwaway ones, and I'm going to take it with me inside the bag. So if we have a blowout, or if they make me throw this away, I mean, it'll all get thrown away, but like, I really hope I don't have to throw this away because I read all the guidelines and I'm doing what they said. But that's my plan. The corners do not look perfect at all, but they are done. What I ended up doing is on the long side, I sewed all the way across, and then on the shorter sides, it just kind of got caught in from doing that because this side was already sewn. I went and I sewed this further down, but I couldn't get all the way to the bottom. So I'm not sure how to make this better next time. Maybe I should have done each side as its own piece of tape and not done one continuous piece. I'm not sure, but I'm not worried about something falling out of this one little hole down here. So let me get the straps on and we'll see how it looks. Here we are, the project is done. I do not think it's very pretty, but it does get the job done. I pulled on these handles. These were a pain in the ass to sew. This whole project was. I broke a needle. I don't know if doing this thing I did with the vinyl was a good idea. We'll find out. I wanted to like do a box, go down, do a box, but it was such a pain. I could only go down and back tack, go down. Like, I only did 2 rows of stitches. I'm going to take the rules with me, gonna take measuring tape with me. If they want to argue with me, we're gonna argue. I better not have to throw this away because I followed all the rules. So this is the bag that I'm using, and I will let you know how it goes. The inside, I do think turned out well. You can utilize all the way up into the corner there. See how it's like super boxy. So I'm very happy with how the, hold on, how the corners turned out. Oh my goodness. Okay, see, like all the way into the corner, all the way into the corner. So I'm very proud of how spacious this is, and I'm less than an inch on every single measurement. So this better work. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I am back home from the show. This bag worked out wonderfully. I was so nervous going into the park. I've never been to Nats Park before, but like I said, I had the rules printed out. I had them right here. I had a ruler. I was like, I was ready to argue. Like, I worked my butt off on this bag. I wanted to bring this bag in. I had followed all the rules. This is an inch smaller on all sides than what it says. I had 1 water bottle per person. I had a gallon size Ziploc bag of individual snacks, because you were allowed snacks as long as they were individual, and it made it easier to keep track of them having it in the gallon bag. And we go to walk in, so you go through the metal detector, and then the people checking your bags, and then your tickets. We go walk through the metal detectors. This was like at 4:30 and the concert started at 5:30. And they're like, okay, come through. Like, there was barely anybody there. And there was people to the side, like, checking bags. So I go up to the guy and, like, I hand him my bag and I start pulling things out. He's like, you're fine. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I was, like, so ready to, like, have to argue with someone to have to get the bag in. Like, I was all, like, prepared and, like, had my whole statement, had everything ready to go. And he was like, you're fine. And I was like, okay. Like, all right. It ended up working wonderfully. I was so happy that I had water, I had snacks, I had hand sanitizer, I had straws, I had napkins, I had business cards, because I was so excited that someone was gonna like compliment me on my bag, or like ask me, or like my shirt. I did shirts for myself and my stepdad that we went to the concert, and like I bought the patches online and I put the patches on, and then like I'm gonna embroider on the back like all the dates of the concerts. Nobody said anything. Nobody cared at all. So it is what it is. The concert was really good. It was so long. It was 4 bands. So the first band started at 5:30. They played for about a half hour. I'd never heard of them before. They were called the Linda Lindas, I think was the name. They're from California. They were very like green. They did not really know what they were doing. They were very awkward on stage, but their music was fine. And then next came on, and there was about like 10 to 20 minutes in between each band to change the stage, because they had to have their own items. The next band was Rancid, and they started at like 6-ish. They played one song, and then the guy's like, okay, everybody in the bottom seats and in the bowl, like all of the seats, like pretty much everybody needs to get up and get out of their seats and go for cover because of lightning. I was like, are you kidding me? So we all get up and go into the bowl, and it's like so claustrophobic. There's so many people. And we're there for about an hour. We don't know what's happening. They're not communicating. They're not saying anything. Like, I don't know Rancid, but I would have rather like had them play than have to sit there doing nothing for an hour. But, you know, it is what it is. It was lightning. Everyone needed to be safe. And then after that, we saw, it was like an hour, and then we saw them like taking the, they had like giant tarps all over everything, like clear tarps. And then they were taking them off, and then they started packing stuff up, and we're like, oh my God, they are not canceling the concert. And it turned out that they were changing the stage to the next band, which was Smashing Pumpkins. So they played for about an hour. I knew some of their songs, and so they played for about an hour, and then took again about like 20-30 minutes to change stages. And then the White People Anthem came on, and they played Bohemian Rhapsody, and everyone was singing along to it. It was really cool. Just kill the And then Green Day came on and they played for 2.5 hours. They played from 8:30 until 11 o'clock at night. It was insane. They played like 34 or 43 songs, something like that. It was insane. It was so awesome. They did such a good job. Like all of the like things on the stage, there was like fire, there was different backdrops. They had this like floating plane that came out. They had streamers, they had confetti twice. It was insane. Like the last time I saw them was indoors at the Patriot Center, and I do not remember them having that much like theatrics. I don't think they could because that was inside and this was outside, but it was amazing. It was so awesome. I love that we had seats instead of being down in the pit and down in the floor area, because those like, I don't understand. Like they paid more money to be down in those seats, and like they were like folding chairs, so they weren't good chairs. If you needed to like go to the bathroom or if you needed to get a drink or something, you had to come all the way up the stairs. So like these people were going up and down the stairs every time. And then the people in the pit, when they said like, okay, it's clear, you can go back down, they were running. I was waiting for someone to like trip down the stairs and like have to get stitches or something, because they were like running to get down there. And there was people that had been there since like 3:30, and the concert didn't start till 5:30. Green Day didn't go on till 8:30 p.m. So 5 hours before the band even came on. So it was just, it was crazy. It was so crazy. I was so glad to have a seat and not have to like be fighting someone for where I was. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I'm so happy I got to share all these clips. I'm so happy that the bag turned out. I don't think it really even has much wear and tear. I think it looks really great. I loved it. It was really awesome having it, and I can't wait to use it at the next concert I go to or venue that needs a clear bag. Watch, the next venue will be different measurements and I won't be able to use it. But anyways, I know that this wasn't a tutorial. This was not meant to be a tutorial. I do have better idea in my head now of how I would make this in the future. But I'm very proud that I made it. I definitely waited till the last minute because I was stressed. I didn't want to mess up, and I still ended up messing up. But you know, the handles are still intact. Nothing broke. It's functioned. I got into the concert. I didn't have to pay for their water or their snacks. So I was really proud of myself. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.